Good evening. Welcome to Investigator News. Boy, why do I keep getting like blocked? Maybe I'm doing something wrong. I'm telling you guys about recalls they don't want you to know about. Yeah. Anybody get some snow? We did here, and then we even made the Weather Channel news. I'm excited. Hillbillies on ice. Yeah, it's scary, folks. I'm from California, so backwards of the Beverly Hillbillies, where they went from Arkansas to California. I was opposite. I'm the opposite hillbilly, and these people are scary out here. They're not used to it, and they get a little bit of snow, and they like they freak out. Um, oh boy, hillbillies on ice, yes, and welcome new viewers. And folks, I was late today. My phone won't stop. I'm gonna shut it off. It just ring, 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 and I got an annoying ring thing. I use what they call dredge. Folks, get dredge. You could put in. I mean, you would not believe who I have individual rings for everybody. Like Karen, I don't think Karen knows hers. Hers is psst, psst, hey, hey, pick up the phone. Psst, psst. That's her ring to me. So I know it's Karen when I get that, and my family laughs. So we got William. Okay, William is um, the theme to Dragnet. Oh boy, and I got an annoying one for who anybody else that calls. It says ring, ring, ring. It's just ring, ring, ring. And it's annoying. So uh, anyway, so I think Facebook didn't come up, Karen. I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to after the show check it out. So, who got snow? We did. They said dusting, dusting. We got about a little over an inch, and then the rain came and washed it all away. I didn't get pictures, um, but I should have. I should have got pictures of the front yard. It's just leaves. I have like 2 foot of leaves. Everybody's leaves end up in my yard, and so I got to get the blower out there. Yeah, Ellie with the I had to do Ellie with the blower show because you guys would get a kick out of me with yard equipment or any equipment. I'm comical with it. All right, we're gonna get on, and we have Ari here today. No, Miss Davis in black. I almost wore black today just for her, and I thought, no, no, I'm not gonna wear black. Uh, I've had a horrible Christmas. My health, we had a death in the family, folks. And it's hard. It's hard when you lose. Uh, when you lose a kid, I've lost my son in 2003. So we had a death in the family. We had quite a bit going on this year. I don't want to say it was a bad Christmas. I just want to say it was interesting. All right, off we go to Ari. Look at him. I always get him with a strange look on his face. I don't know if you guys realize that, but here we go.
Okay, here's the latest on Winter Storm Ember. At this point, we actually have a pretty good idea, I would say, how this is going to pan out. I know it's been kind of a tough forecast over the last couple of days, but there's a lot of agreement between the forecast models right now. It's going to be a pretty solid snowstorm for the interior Northeast. Now, through the rest of the evening and the overnight, the storm's going to start to move up into the Ohio Valley and the Great Lakes, all right? Not going to be a huge snowstorm out there. Most of the snow stays north of the Ohio River. Then it moves into the Northeast. As it does so, it strengthens, which means that the wind is really going to pick up. And yeah, most of that heavy snow stays inland. Places like Boston will get a decent amount of snow, but even for you guys in Providence, the heaviest snow will be northwest of you. All right, now keep in mind, when you've got strong wind plus a heavy wet snow like this snow is going to be, that can lead to some power outages. Another place where we could have some power outages would be in parts of the Piedmont and the Blue Ridge, Virginia, North Carolina. There's going to be some ice out of this one And most of that ice is going to be going on, or it'll be falling out of the sky on Saturday. Still could have some slick spots after that. Here's the snow forecast. Again, mostly rain along the coast. New York City, you may start off with a bit of a wintry mix on Saturday, but it transitions to rain pretty quickly. And then inland, places like Albany, about 5 to 8 inches of snow. Pretty solid one.
Here's the deal. There are back-to-back storms in the forecast. There's Winter Storm Ember, followed by Winter Storm Finn. And
stop. I'm not quick enough for these things. So we had, oh boy, this just cracks me up. And it's not a very long video. Okay, hillbillies on ice. That's all I have to say. Is hillbillies on ice. I do have a good size, not good size, an earthquake report. It is. They even felt it in Los Angeles. And they're warning for something bigger to hit. I think it was a 4.8, 4.9 in Los Angeles, pretty much, in the vicinity, I'm sorry. And it shook a lot of people up, and they're saying that they expect a bigger earthquake to hit the LA region within the next 2-3 days. So all right, here we go. So, no, we're not going to get no deep snow. Arkansas, the storm killer is what I say. Karen knows that one. I had a friend that moved here, and he said, "But you had a tornado." I said, "Yeah, that's odd. But normally, when the storms come to Arkansas, we break them all up and send them all kinds of directions." Uh, And so, hillbillies on ice, we're shut down for the most part. Now, look at this, folks. The recent one being in, uh, oh boy, it's not letting me get it. There we go. Toya, Texas, 3.3. That was the newest one. And then we had one up in Alaska. Uh, Zinke, Alaska, 3.0. Ozinski, Karen, that's a new one. I don't ever remember. I would have remembered Ozinski. All right, so we had hardly anything in South America. They had one in Peru, a 4.1. Now today, I'm really. This is weird because we had a lot in the United States, and we had one down and the Antarctic Ridge of 5.2. Then we go up to the Fiji region of 4.5. We had 4.9. And then we go over, the next biggest one was in Amamizu, Japan, 5.2. And of course, Japan is getting a lot of them, but then we had a bunch over in Alaska on the far west side of Shaktoolik, Alaska, 3.0. The rest are about twos, but then now let's move towards the United States. We had one in Washington, Ashford, Washington. It was about 5 miles deep, so they could have felt that. They felt a 1.9 in New York with about the same depth. So now I'm starting to see that even at a 1.5, if it's shallow, people are feeling it. So keep your feet on the ground and see what you Even if you feel like you're sitting there watching TV and you got this weird kind of feeling, that could be an earthquake. Uh, all right, so the next one was Yosemite Lakes, California, 2.9. Then they had um, a 4.2 in Little Creek, um, and they felt it there. They felt it, and this is where USGS out of Los Angeles is saying there could be a bigger one within the next few days. And that is straight across. I mean, if you look at it, I know you guys can see my cursor. So from Japan going across, straight across, that is the LA area. So when Dutch Sense does his arrows, and they're whether they're shallow, they're deep. Let's see if this one's deep. No, this one's shallow. The one in California, it was shallow, and so he will say that sometimes it goes straight across, not in the ring of fire. We seen the ring of fire yesterday. Today they're all over the place. It's like chaos, earthquake chaos. Yes. Um, and then so if you're in LA, folks, or around that area, even close to San Diego, there's a good possibility you're going to get a 5 point or better, is they're saying within the next 3 days. Next 3 days. Um, the one that got me was we had one in Cedar Point, Kansas. Then we had one in Falls City, Texas. And then way up in Madison, Ohio. This was very shallow. It was a 2.6, so we know they felt it. So if you're around the Ohio area, put it in the comments. We had a recent one um, in Greece. Remember, I said yesterday, we're not seeing anything going on in Italy and Greece and the land of the giants. And you would have to look into the history of the land of the giants, see why I call it that. So this was Kalpaki, Greece, and it was a 4.1. We had one over in Afghanistan. That was a 4.7. Um, the Hawaii got very quiet. Uh, Pahala, Hawaii, at 2.7. It was about 35 miles deep, 38, somewhere real close to that. Um, and then a lone one in Peru. Now, you remember how active the islands were yesterday? Just one today in Puerto Rico, 2.8. And this was in Pargura, Puerto Rico. So, what is this saying? Well, if we listen to LA, and let's see, let me move over. Um, Now, Southern California, they're doing breaking news today, and they said according to the U.S. Geological Survey, a 4.2 when it struck today. It was located northwest of Little Creek, California. Um, so they said this one intersects with the San Andreas Fault. So that's why they're thinking it could be something within the next few days. Um, the system is designed to detect a quake and almost instantly sends alerts to the area. So they were alerted very quickly. Um, um, so they're looking at the next 3 days, folks. They could see a 5.2 or better, they say, and that's coming from the USGS. So not only that, but over there in Indonesia, Mount Merapi erupted again. And let me get this set up for you guys. And this is one that it does go off, but oh boy, it just don't want to stop here. All right. So this Merapi erupted again, and it spewed, they say, bright rivers of lava in its first eruption in 2024. All right, here we go.
So,
it said it killed some hikers. Why the heck? Who? Well, I know people want to get pictures of volcanoes, so they climb it to see, but you're just taking the risk. So, have we noticed an increase of volcanoes? Yes, we have. We have had so many volcanoes this year, just this year. But now we're into the new year. Now, they say it's increased almost 20%. Huh. And no, there's nothing around it. There's no, everything I've looked at for drilling or anything that could cause these volcanoes to erupt. I just can't find nothing, folks. Um, Boy, I got a lot of stuff, good stuff today. Um, you guys remember Mrs. Banks on Mary Poppins? Mrs. Banks. She was protesting for women's rights back then. And that was odd for a Disney movie back in the 60s. Well, she passed away. She was 100 years old. Wow. So, my kids say I look good for 94, is what Jayla said about 10, 15 years ago. No. Wow. 18 years ago. Yeah, about 17, 18 years ago. She told me I look good for 94. No, I'm not 94. All right. But so now we're going to move on to the cat saves a dog's life by chasing off coyotes. It's an amazing video rescue. Um, boy, hey, leave it to the cat to go after the coyotes and say, nope, you ain't doing this. And, we're seeing more and more coyotes and wildlife come into the suburbs. They're hungry, folks. We're moving more. It used to be we were moving more housing into their territories. Now it's more that they're just hungry with the droughts and flooding rains. They're losing their food source. So your garbage can is muncha muncha. Yeah, all right, here we go. So the cat saves the dog. Super cat. That cat said, nope, we ain't having two of you in the backyard. You see, that if that cat wouldn't have interfered, that dog probably would have been chewed up by these coyotes. A lot of people don't realize it. Coyotes can get into your backyards. And you would think it was just a dog, but that's not what's happening. Folks, be careful. Be very careful. I know we have coyotes here in town, and it's odd, but we've put so many housing up in the hills and around Conway that they're now starting to move in. Even I would like to see a fox. The only time I seen a fox was out in Colorado Springs, and boy, that was fun. They're so cute. But I got up and I moved to the porch and I kind of just let it walk by. It went up into the yard and then it went down the street. I was going to interfere. All right, so San Francisco. San Francisco Golden Gate. They've had so many suicides there, folks. People jumping off the Golden Gate Bridge. And when I was out there, I took a look at it, and that was one of the things that crossed my mind is think of all the people that go there to jump off. Why? I mean, there's there's so many other ways usually done, but why go to the Golden Gate Bridge and throw yourself off? Um, Go get some help first. But the Golden Gate in San Francisco, and this wasn't nothing to do with Nancy Pelosi. Um, this was something that the mayor and city council and others, uh, uh, those from suicide prevention, what they decided was it's been funded. This is something that's a good funding for California is nets. They have placed nets all along the bridge. So even if they jump, they're going to land in the net. Um, they say that there's really no way to, once they get in the net, they're not really going to get out, and it saves them. And then they could get in there and they could get these people some help. So this is what the San Francisco landmark has done, and this is according to as of I think Monday they announced this. It's a suicide deterrent, they said. It's been installed on the east and west sides of approximately 95% of the bridge. In some areas of the bridge, due to according to construction or design factors, fencing is in place or in addition to the net. So um, uh, now Susan and Karen really don't. When you're away from California, you really don't. The whole impact of what's going on out there with suicides. I mean, even when I was growing up, I heard about this, and I was like, why don't they put something there? And they did do fencing, they did do blocking, they tried blocking it, and they were climbing over it. And now they're done. They're doing fencing and netting is a new thing. And they think they have done it to the point where no matter how far they go, they're going to hit the net and get entangled. So, that's something that they should do to a lot of these bridges. Because for some reason, uh, what was that song? Billy Joe McAllister jumped off the Tallahassee Bridge. See, people, why? Don't do that. Get some help. It's a song. I can't remember what the name of the song is. Uh, yeah, I had to run that on trivia since I can't remember it. Uh, but people seem to do this, folks. All right, we're gonna go off to let's scare the hell out of you guys. So in Colombia, and I haven't watched it because I'm when I go to amusement parks and the kids say, "Hey, let's go on that ride," and I'm like, "Oh, good Lord, Lordy, Lord, oh my God, what are you going to get me on?" I just keep my eyes closed the whole time, but I can feel it. Oh, they want to go on stuff that flip you upside down or roller coasters. Oh, no, no, no. Me and roller coasters, I'm scared to death of heights. So this is in Colombia, folks. Oh, yeah. Let's get stuck on a roller coaster 100 feet in the air in Colombia. No, I don't think so, because that could even happen here. Look at that roller coaster. That definitely throws you upside down. It throws you to a new height, and then you go straight down. Not this kid. All right, let me know in the comments. Would you do this? All right, here we go. So that's where it was stuck. So that is where it was stuck. It didn't even around the top. It was stuck on the side. No, not this kid. But when you're, when I was younger, I loved this stuff. Um, I would go on stuff that would flip me upside down, but not now. When teenagers, don't tell grandma she needs to go on the scary stuff. Uh, all right, so Blue Ridge beef pet re, pet food recall. Now they have done this for a couple of weeks, and they have it used to be just a couple states. Well, now they are have moved to 16 states, include Florida, Massachusetts, and New York. The Blue Ridge beef recall of three of its pet food productions has widened to up to 16 states. Uh, Initially recalled 2-pound logs of its kitten grind, kitten mix, and puppy mix. That was 6 to 7 states. Now they said it's been tested by North Carolina Department of Agriculture and yielded positives to two types of bacteria. So the states where retailers have sold this is Connecticut, Florida, Iowa, Illinois, Massachusetts, Maryland, Michigan, North Carolina, New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Tennessee, Virginia, and Wisconsin. So if you bought Blue Ridge beef, it's been recalled. Don't give it to your pets. All right, so Muncha Muncha, it says, on leftover Christmas trees. Um, Now, a lot of people will donate them to their lakes, and for it helps the fish. Well, they also donate them to the zoo because many animals just love munching on your old Christmas trees. And sometimes they say sometimes they even find a candy cane still left. And that's the happiness of some of these wild animals. All right, here we go, folks. The happy elephant, yes, they give it to a lot of the deer, antelope, moose, a lot of the deer, and those um, offshoots of the deer, elk. They love eating these things. So think about next time. Call your local zoo and donate your tree. Yeah, instead of throwing it in the pond. All right. Um, um, Pepsi Cola products removed from supermarket giant shelves. Why? Because of they decided to do an increase. Now, this isn't just European or UK, it's even moved to the United States. 1,200 stores worldwide started saying no to Pepsi. No to Pepsi because it's of almost, they say, $1 more than Coca Cola. They refuse to put the Pepsi Cola on the shelves due to the price hike. Good for these stores. Good for them for doing this. When are we going to have these stores start saying no? That's just too much. We're not going to pay for it, because what they have to do is either cut staff or eat the cost. And if they eat the cost, of course, they got to raise the price to be able to make a profit. All right. Holiday travel turns tragic. Now, this is weird because this is like, they say second, but to me, this is, I went back and looked, and this is about the fifth one, where your flight attendant in the planes, they get ready either right along takeoff or midair or even landing. They drop dead, and they don't know why. Some of them, the oldest one now that just had this happen on British Airways. They said it's the second crew member with British Airways, but there's more. The first one was 24 years old. This newest one was 52. And they're looking at the fact that during the pandemic, there was a lot of heart attacks that happened. So that's what they're looking into. Now, like I said, there has been about a half a dozen folks that this has happened to flight attendants. Now, these were both on the British Airways, and both of them were men. It's kind of mixed, 50-50. Some of them are women. Half of them are about women, and the other half are men. So now the airline industry is now wanting to take a look to see what's causing the death of their flight attendants globally. Let's see. Oh, we're down to the end. Down to the end. Now, when I found these, it was called mock jokes. And these are pretty twisted. And I thought, no, I'm not going to do this. And I thought, no, these are pretty funny. I chuckled at a few of them. I don't want to, this, I'm going to say it's a little bit of dark humor in this. So, mommy, it's when, the kid says mommy, and has these questions. What's a nymphomaniac? Shut up and help me get grandma off the doorknob. Mommy, why are we pushing the car off the cliff? Shut up, you'll wake your father. Mommy, where is everybody running? Why is everybody running? Shut up and reload. Mommy, I'm getting dizzy. Shut up or I'll nail your other foot down. Mommy, can I lick the bowl? Shut up and flush that toilet. Oh boy. Mommy, can I play with grandma? Shut up, kid. You dug her up twice last week. Oh, see, I told you it's pretty dark humor. Mommy, I don't want to go see Niagara Falls. Shut up and get back in the boat. Well, okay, I got to finish reading it. Get back in the boat and stay out of that barrel. Mommy, I want to play with Sheldon. Shut up and close that coffin. Mommy, I don't like tomato soup. Shut up, we only have it once a month. Mommy, I don't want to visit grandma. Shut up and keep digging. Why is this about digging people up jokes? Okay, mommy, why do the other kids have a long nose? And you don't, but lift your head up and you'll scrape the floor. All right, folks, that is it for today. It is Friday, and I hope you come back and play some trivia with us today. We got trivia coming up in 2 hours. Right about 2 hours. I got news coming up next in about 30 minutes. I hope you enjoyed the show. Subscribe and hit that like button. And of course, share and do the thumbs up, folks. We thank you for watching.